Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be visiting Pitas Planters in Dallas, Texas to do some local plant shopping. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome to the channel. My name is Richie, but before we get into that, I did want to announce that I am part of a plant podcast called the Cultivation Corner. We did have season 1 debut earlier last year, just a later part of last year, and we are about to promote season 2, which is going to be on February 18th, 2025, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. Please make sure you are subscribed. It's with Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants.
Hello everyone, I'm Pita. I'm the owner of Pitas Planters, and we are located in East Dallas. We are a little bit hidden in the Plaza. We are located at the corner of Casa Plaza near Rodeo Goat. And I'm super excited to announce that we're now starting to ship some of our items. For now, we're only shipping our 3D printed and handmade items, but in the spring, we are hoping to start shipping plants as well. So you can visit our website at pitasplanters.com or just come shop in person.
And for the plant foldies that have been watching my channel for quite a while, I've done a lot of features of Pitas Planters. It is a small business. It's a small plant shop, but when I say that everywhere you turn, you will find some gorgeous plants. Really happy that I've gotten to know Pita and her partner, David. This is the Cultivation Corner's main home in terms of when we first were filming the plant podcast. So I really appreciate that they actually took us in. And if you can see right here from the get-go, you see all of these gorgeous plants. While this is a small plant shop, what I can tell you is this plant shop has a lot of different types of plants, whether it's easy care plants, more rare and uncommon plants, and plants that you would not typically see sourced out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. With the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would say that there is a lot of competition when it comes to like local nurseries. You've seen a lot of my videos where I feature nurseries such as Callaway's Nurseries, Green Acres, for instance, and several big box stores alongside with other local plant shops. But Pitas Planters really does hold a very special place into my heart because knowing the story of how Pita started this small business, it really just resonates in the fact that if you have a dream, you can go after that dream and really share your passion. And at the end of the day, yes, I do a lot of big box store plant shopping videos. It is a little bit more accessible for the general public, but if you're able to find an amazing plant shop like this, I would always say shop small, support local businesses, support those that have those dreams to be able to be an entrepreneur. Because you can see right here, both me and Janae Simone actually had the privilege of being able to film Pitas Planters. She opened her shop Tuesdays. They actually have the shop closed, but she did get a restock of a lot of plants. So we're just going to be panning around and showing you all of the plants that they have available. Like she said before, a lot of people have asked whether she has been shipping plants. She is currently not shipping plants. However, she is shipping all of her 3D printed planters and her handmade planters. So you'll see there are quite a bit of really nice planters. I always think that planters actually enhance the plant that it's actually put into. So for me, it's all about the plant aesthetics. Everybody has different plant aesthetics, but what I can tell you is Pitas Planters has an eclectic taste of different types of planters and plants. Like for instance, this strawberry begonia. So if you're really interested in pink plants, Pitas Planters has a ton of pink plants. And when I say that she is about to go show you guys a lot of the more rare Aglaonemas, and if you are a plant foldie, you already know I am on the mission. I have a campaign to really make Aglaonemas a little bit more mainstream because I am doing this social experiment where if you utilize a social media platform and you're constantly talking about a specific plant, and maybe more people are posting it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, wherever there is a social media platform to where you can discuss and share plants, perhaps it'll gain some traction. So I do implore and ask anybody that follows me, supports Cultivation Corner, supports Janae Simone, supports Stephen of I Live Plants. They are both my co-hosts on the Cultivation Corner and supports small businesses like Pitas Planters. Go ahead and get everybody excited online and talk about Aglaonemas. But right now, I am just featuring some of the other plants she has available here. I'm just going to pick these up and show you some of the plant IDs. It always is a plant overload whenever I go to Pitas Planters because she sources out so many different types of plants, whether it's Hoyas, philodendrons, carnivorous plants, jewel orchids, ZZ plants, different types of hybrids, anthuriums, syngoniums, you name it, she probably has it. And she even has some ultra rare plants. And the thing that is a big draw for me whenever I shop at Pitas Planters is the fact that, yes, I could possibly go to a big box store and get some of the plants, but the health of the plants and also the care tips and knowledge that I learned from talking to Pita and the staff, it's something that you really can't get from big box stores. Like right here, if you want a cute marble queen pothos, this Epipremna marble queen pothos, $12.80, but it is one of those sizes where it's manageable. Sometimes whenever you shop at, say, a big box store, you can get a 6-inch planter, but sometimes you want a smaller 4-inch planter, and you can see that these ones right here are highly variegated, really good variegation. And we talked about like Epipremnum aria, marble queen. In order to get that high variegation, you do need to provide it with quite a bit of bright indirect light. I would suggest if you want an easy to care for plant, definitely purchase a pothos plant. And you can see right here, she's got some carnivorous plants. The only thing I know about carnivorous plants is that they are a little bit more finicky when it comes to like watering. If anything, you do not want to water a carnivorous plant with tap water. Now, this is one plant that is a want for me, not necessarily a need today, because obviously I'm going to be at Pitas Planters next week. $24. She's got a Syndapsis Silver Hero, and it's in a 6-inch planter. So number one, you can't find a lot of Syndapsis Silver Heroes available in 6-inch planters. Typically, they're in 3-inch or maybe 4-inch, and for $24, that is a really good price. Because when you think about like Costa Farms, say they were going to release Syndapsis Silver Hero, yes, you could probably find it for $19.84. And the crazy thing is, I know like the current plant pricing, the marketing for it, but that is still a good price for $24. And then this is one of Pita's newest hybrids. So I am just going to look at this. I think it is a cross with a Philodendron Belitier cross with the Florida Beauty. So you can see that she's got a lot of these new hybrids of Philodendron. I don't really want to like mislabel the plant ID. So what I would say is, if you have Instagram or Facebook, follow Pitas Planters on that, and so you can get the most accurate plant IDs. I'm going to pull it out of the catch pot right here. This one is for $68. Yes, this is the Philodendron Florida Beauty crossed with the Philodendron Belitier. Look at how stunning that green is. When we were just talking to Pita, me and Janae, when we visited, we just talked about how she does like watch our plant content, and she was actually inspired to really take a second glance at just really lush green plants, because we do talk about the variegation. We talk about trending plants like, say, this anthurium here. This is another anthurium hybrid. But whenever we slow down and really just look at the beauty of a really lush green plant, that's just amazing. And the fact that she was able to source out a lot of these new philodendron hybrids, they're not necessarily variegated, but they're still stunning. Like, look at this one right here. Look at the leaf shape. And the thing about it is, these hybrids are very new. So as far as like the growth habits, whether they're crawlers or they're ones that want to climb up a pole, whether the mature leaf, what that looks like, they haven't had these in production long enough to really see that. So it would be really exciting to actually get a hybrid, especially a green one, because when you think about a green plant, it's probably going to be more vigorous. It's probably going to grow at a faster rate. And so for me, I'm super tempted to go back and purchase some of these crosses of philodendrons. I mean, I would say when she does open up on Wednesday and people see the plants she has, she's probably going to sell through a lot of these plants. It typically happens. So I'm like, well, Pita, please let us in and at least let us film your plants, your beautiful plants. And so super thankful she gave us a space. And you can see right here, again, she has a lot of these velvety textured anthuriums. These are literally the rave right now. Everybody wants to cross a hybrid anthurium. And I love it because I've been exposed to a lot of these anthuriums. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily all about it in terms of like cross hybridizing them and all of this. I do love the velvety textures. What's made it easy for me is growing these anthuriums in semi-hydroponic substrates. I would prefer to put them in lechuza pond, but I've been able to get away with even putting them in leca, and that has made the plant easy care. And then over here, you know, you go from an anthurium and then she goes back and actually has a bunch of these peperomia obtusifolias. These are the variegated forms. And again, if you want an easy to care for plant, the peperomia obtusifolia is one that has good variegation. So if you like variegated plants, but you also want one that's easy care, this one comes in, I believe, a 5-inch or 4.5-inch planter. Love that as well. Really nice variegation. So there's really a plant for everybody whenever you go to Pitas Planters. And, you know, for me and Janae, we've been going here for quite a while. And if you're going to ask me, this is one plant shop that if you're in the Dallas market, if you do a trip to Dallas, if you're visiting Dallas, you need to go to Pitas Planters because you will see a wide range of plants. Like this one right here is another Scindapsus. You can see the price right over here. Really nice, lush and full plants. And it looks like she's got a really good shipment of Scindapsus and a bunch of Epipremnum aureums, specifically marble queen pothos, although they almost look like snow queens with how high the variegation is. And then when you see all of the shelves, she's got different types of plant products, lots of organic products that you can use on your plants, which I think is safe. Sometimes whenever you go into pesticides, it's a little bit hairy in terms of like all the chemicals. So I like the fact that she has a lot of you know, products that are safe. I prefer organic. And then you can see right here, she has a 3D printed plant with such a cute little philodendron micans. And you know, she has all of these color palettes that are just really inviting. I love the modern planters that she has, and the fact that these are made with love in the sense that they're 3D printed. She has her own designs. She's been making planters with also recycled material. It just gives it a different element. I mean, I would say, you know, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, plant foldies, you already know when it comes to like me doing plant shopping. And if you've just recently clicked on this video and discovered my my plant shopping video, you will realize that I tend to just talk to y'all directly for an hour. So hopefully you like that plant content. It's really just more of a raw, organic conversation that I have. So it's like if you were to follow me around the plant shop, I'd probably talk your ear off. I know I've been given feedback where I'm literally just talking and probably should take some breaks, but I just get super excited talking about plants. And, you know, this is a platform where I feel like with the plant folding community, I mean, literally, I might be late on like doing a live premiere. Typically it's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, but even when I do a late premiere, I still see quite a bit of engagement. And I did want to just shout out all of the plant foldies again. Thank you for making this journey of making plant content available on YouTube such a satisfying one. I think to be able to just connect many different types of people and really have that space, and also have the space to promote a small business like Pitas Planters, it's just a very satisfying and rewarding experience. So I did want to throw that out there, and I also wanted to throw it out there and tell you, look at all of the plants that they have. So she has a huge philodendron, Macaulay's finale. That is a big one for only $32. And as I pan around here, so you've seen anthuriums, you've seen Scindapsus, you've seen philodendron hybrids, and now we're looking at variegated Alocasia. So while the square footage is a little bit smaller than what you would expect, I think that is the draw of this plant shop. And I really, you know, I'm very passionate. I'm also very direct. If you are watching this and you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you are a local, please give Pitas Planters a chance. Go ahead and make your trip out here to East Dallas. It is not that far. It's super accessible. It's really down or up the road from the Dallas Arboretum. So definitely check out Pitas Planters. I mean, you can see right over here, she's got Monstera Thai constellations. She's got philodendron, melanochrysums on totems. She's got propagation stations that she has handmade and 3D printed herself with the free cuttings that come along with it. So I think that's super super cool. And with Valentine's around the corner, you can go ahead and give yourself your own Valentine's gift by purchasing a plant. I mean, you can see right here, that is a large Philodendron, Alocasia, variegated Alocasia batik for only $75 and a 10-inch planter. And then she's got Baltic Blues right here, Epipremnum Baltic Blues. And this one is not a bad price at all. That is in a 6-inch planter. And for those that want a fast-growing plant, Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic Blue is one of them. She does have quite a bit of Epipremnum pinnatums. I recently bought an Epipremnum pinnatum yellow flame mature form from her. And then you can see right here, she's got even more Syndapsis. I believe this is a Syndapsis exotica. It's got the larger foliage. Just take a look at that. Yep, that is it. And it is in a 6-inch planter. So it looks like for this shipment, Pita's gotten a lot of Syndapsis, and we're just going to see what else she has in the shop. I do have a playlist, so if you ever want to see the evolution of what plants she currently sources out, definitely rewatch some of the Pitas Planters videos. I have tons of them, and I will continue to feature Pitas Planters. The thing about it is, let's see right here, $68.98. This is one that already has a totem pole, and you can see how gorgeous that velvety leaf is for a Philodendron melanochrysum. Like, I want to purchase one of these. The thing about it is, this is a plant that is a little bit more of a challenge in terms of the humidity levels. And then today I'm already in the mindset that I will be purchasing some Aglaonema. While I have an Aglaonema Sparkling Sarah, this is only for $18 in a 5-inch planter. Look at the coloration on it, plant foldies, and look at how pretty that pink stem is. Like I've said with Aglaonemas are easy care plants. They are easy care plants. They can tolerate lower light conditions. So for those that don't have the best lighting conditions, you can grow it. And as far as the watering, and this is such a beautiful Aglaonema red Siam, I mean, I would end up buying it because look at how full that is. And that is actually a really good size as well, 5-inch planter. And there's several plants that you can get from this. But to go back to it, the watering, all you have to do is actually wait till the soil is completely dry and then water it. That is it. Aglaonemas, it's that simple. Now look at this little hidden gem here. So for those that like the variegated plants, so we go from Aglaonema to a Philodendron strawberry shake for $32. And this one's a pretty good one as well. And it has a really nice variegated leaf. You can see that other leaf is super variegated. It's already in some pretty good soil, and it's planted in a clear planter. That's another thing I will say about Pitas Planters. So I have been getting into a lot of the semi-hydroponic substrates, Leca or Lechuza Pond. She offers some very cheap and cost-effective clear pots in many different sizes, from 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch, 8-inch, and I think she might end up getting 9 and 10-inch ones as well. So if you want clear plastic pots with really good drainage, you can go to Pitas Planters, and I'll feature that later on in the video. And she also has handmade material, so you can see that they've got some crochet hanging baskets of plants, really cool. And then obviously all of these 3D printed propagation stations with cuttings that come along with it. Love that as well. And I do intend on getting one of these just because I like to support creativity, and the fact that she's designed them, she's made them herself, it makes it a different element in terms of just how this plant shop has its own branding. Pitas Planters has like very unique items, and this is not to say anything negative about any other plant shops, because I think that anybody who has a small business should be given the space, should be given a chance to really showcase and conduct business. But what makes Pitas Planters even more special is the fact that she does have curated planters. And to me, it's easy. I wouldn't even say easy. I'm sure that there are challenges when it comes to opening a plant shop, but you can source out the plants. But I would even say, after having many conversations with Pita, she really does look at bringing in plants that are not commonly found at a local nursery or a big box store. And I tell you, there are many options to shop in Dallas. I've been all over, either it's as far as Fort Worth and just all over the Dallas metroplex, but none of them really have, for instance, these Aglaonema. So she just got another shipment of rare and uncommon Aglaonema. So I did want to show you these, and I'm definitely going to buy this one today. This is the green papuma for only $35. So I will tell you, if you ever go on Etsy, go ahead and do a search for a green papuma and see how much it costs. And on top of that, in order to get this particular plant or this Aglaonema, you're probably going to have to import it from, say, a country like Indonesia or Thailand. And not everybody is comfortable importing plants. I know that I've gotten plants from overseas, but the good thing about it is I go through Green Spaces ID. So they actually have a broker and then also a local business in the United States that basically gets the plant but sells it under a plant business here, so it's easier. But for me, why bypass? You can bypass that and just go to Pitas Planters and get these more uncommon Aglaonemas. And I know me and Janae, she's here with me as well, we did really want to see the Aglaonemas, and I'm hoping that as more people get into Aglaonemas, especially in the DFW market. Now, plant foldies, you already know, you watch these videos. If you are in the Dallas market, I am asking y'all, go to Pitas Planters, buy yourself an Epipremnum aurea, buy yourself a pothos plant, or even delve into the colorful Aglaonema. She has them in a different wide range of them, so you can get the red cyan, for instance, or you can get a cool Syngonium like this. So has anybody ever seen a Syngonium pink lava? Like, this one has really unique leaves, so the leaves are a little bit more distorted and mutated. This is another one of my wish list Syngoniums, and I did talk about how I fell out of love with Syngoniums. I mean, Syngoniums are always going to be my first love. But, it's Syngoniums like this that Pita sources out that makes you go back to the actual plant. Like, I love it. I may eventually come back to it. And that's the thing about Pitas. So I look at that Syngonium pink lava, and then you have this huge anthurium. And I believe that big one right there that's fully established is only $75. And that, to me, for that size of an anthurium, is a steal. And then you can see she's got even more plants right here. And that's the thing that always mind boggles me, like this green papuma Aglaonema. Can I please get a thumbs up, a comment, a timestamp for this plant? If you love Aglaonemas, and you already know plant foldies, the ones that are regulars, I need you to leave a comment. I need you to send some positive vibes to Pitas Planters. I'm asking y'all, let's go ahead and get everybody excited. Let's spread this video. Let's get everybody shopping at Pitas Planters, because I think that you guys need to go here. Like, I mean, look at this. This is another Aglaonema. It's challenging for me to pronounce this, but I know that Janae is definitely going to buy this one. It's between that or the 10 carat Aglaonema, which we'll look at. And the thing about it is the nuances of Aglaonemas is really interesting, because you'll have different types of stems. You'll get different types of leaf shapes. You'll get different types of everything. But what I will tell you is the care is still easy care. And that's something that not a lot of people will talk about. A lot of times we will focus more so on, say, the Philodendrons, the Monsteras, the more variegated aroids, the different types of hybrids of anthuriums, the variegated Alocasia. But for me, number one plant, the one plant that you need to add to your plant collection because of the easy care, is an Aglaonema. Now, you can even see right here, she does have some variegated Alocasia fridex. I do have one of these as well, and it's still acclimating in my lechuza pond. The thing about Alocasias is it really depends on the substrate that they're put in. They definitely need a little bit more humidity. They definitely need some really good lighting, because they can even go dormant. And there's just a lot more to it when it comes to Alocasias. And what's interesting is Alocasias have really grown in popularity since the more variegated forms are popping up. I'm one of them that wants to collect that. And I already have a Philodendron Pink Princess Galaxy. I bought one from Pitas Planters, but she has them in here again for $45. This is a really nice one right here. So we talk about Philodendron Pink Princess, and we talk about the initial genetics that you can find. So like Grower's Bench, if you go to Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, you may find a Philodendron Pink Princess, but you will not find one like this. High variegation. This one is guaranteed to pretty much push out lots of pink, and I mean, that would just make a really good Valentine's gift. I'm a sucker for pink plants. I'm a sucker for Philodendron Pink Princess, and I didn't even realize the amount of multiples I have for Philodendron Pink Princess. And this is one that I'm gonna buy. This one is a little bit more pricey, $58. This is the Aglaonema 10 carat. So here's the thing about the Aglaonema 10 carat. Number one, it's in a 6-inch planter. So to find a larger Aglaonema that's rare like this is already a steal. And then number two, it is very difficult to find a plant like an Aglaonema like this in the United States. When you do import plants or get plants from overseas, there is an acclimation period where, say, I get a beautiful plant like this, right? Oftentimes you'll lose a lot of the leaves and then it has to like reestablish, but this one is already established, and I already know Janae and I are gonna fight over this, but I'm gonna go ahead and get her this one right here. She's gonna end up buying this one is another beautiful Aglaonema. It has a different type of pink, and if you even look at the veining of this particular Aglaonema, it's awesome. And what's interesting about this Aglaonema is if you ever look at those large foliage like Silver Bay Aglaonemas, it can get that large. And so the 10 carat is also another Aglaonema that can really size up. And can you imagine having something this like vibrant, the colors? I get it. Some people might find Aglaonemas a little bit more flamboyant for colors, but you know what? I think colors are just joyful and they just bring me a lot of joy. And then over here, she just got these in. These are only for $32, and these are really nice. Philodendron Florida Ghost. So the good thing about Florida Ghost is whenever the new leaves unfurl, it's got that whiter cream tone, and it eventually starts to like darken up to a more like minty green. I already have one that I ended up finding at HEB, which is another grocery store in Texas. But Pitas Planters, if you want it for $32, really good price. And then you can see here, she has some more of these rare Aglaonema. So I already bought this the last time I went here. This is the red Aglaonema Red Mahasadi. Look at how gorgeous this one is. And you know, I transferred this plant into semi-hydro. It's actually growing in leca and it's doing extremely well. And that's the thing, again, plant foldies with Aglaonema. You can keep them in their soil substrates and they do well, but if you want to move them into semi-hydro, you don't necessarily have to use Lechuzapon, because I know that Lechuzapon can be a little bit pricey, and unfortunately, as of the time I made this video, Amazon doesn't have it in stock. So I mean, leca is what I've been using. It just makes it easier because then I don't have to worry about watering them as much. And then you can see here, this is an Aglaonema Pink Barami. That's another one that I ended up getting from Pitas Planters. And here's the thing, right? You can see that between the red Mahasadi and this one has more narrow leaves, and then this is another one. So this one is an Aglaonema Light of Diamond, or what they call Aglaonema LOD. This is another beautiful Aglaonema that is starting to be a little bit more commonly found in the United States. But what's interesting is this one has actually mutated. You can see that it's supposed to be mostly pinkish and you know, that color, salmon color, but you can see the new leaves that are unfurling have a little bit greenish tone. And that's the thing about Aglaonemas. They come out with different colors. Sometimes they mutate a little bit and then you get different types of varieties. So as far as Aglaonemas, again, I will dub Pitas Planters as the one shop, and I'll tell you, the one shop in Dallas that actually carries more of these rare and uncommon Aglaonemas. I'm super thankful that, you know, Pita is actually feeding our plant addictions. You know, between me, my good friend Janae Simone, please make sure you subscribe to her YouTube channel, as well as Stephen of I Live Plants. We make Cultivation Corner. We love the Aglaonemas. I also love this Syngonium Panda Galaxy. So she's gotten 2 new uncommon Syngoniums. Here's the thing about Syngoniums. Syngoniums are fast growing. They grow like weeds. They're easy to propagate. So as far as like the rarity of Syngoniums, I never really wanted to buy one that's expensive. And you can see that these are a little bit more readily available. And I love the variegation of a Syngonium Panda Galaxy. Same thing with the Syngonium Pink Lava that she has. So as you can see right here, plant foldies, as far as like the uncommon plants, you can find them. And the advantage of shopping, at least at Pitas Planters, if you're a local, is instead of you going onto an online shop or buying something from Etsy or buying something from Palm Street, all of those online venues, you can just go here, because a lot of the plants that you'll see online, she's already sourcing out. And number one, you don't have to pay for the shipping. Number two, you see the plant up front. And then number 3, which is really important for me, is you're supporting a small business that really wants to continue to grow. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And so I know that I probably sound super excited, overzealous about just promoting Pitas Planters. And no, she does not support me. I am literally doing this because I truly believe in the business. And I mean, at the time, you know, January is a pretty slow month for just retail in general. I would hope that we can band together as a community a local community and check out Pitas Planters. I am strategically trying to put this content out before the weekend because the weekends are a great place to shop, or if you have free time on your lunch break, just drive down to Pitas Planters because look at this. Look at this Alocasia right here, variegated Alocasia. I mean, this is another plant that I would say is a want. It is only a want because of the price tag. But even then, instead of like risking, buying a plant online where you don't know if it's going to make it to you, you can buy this. Same thing with this Monstera Burley Marks. That is another wish list plant of mine. Unfortunately, these are the juvenile ones and they're still quite high. So I'm going to have to hold off on it. And then you can see over here, plant foldies, she's got some more of these more uncommon Hoyas. I mean, Pita herself is a Hoya head. She loves Hoyas. Hoyas haven't gotten into my head as much, but if you look close enough, you can see that there's so many different types of Hoyas. I will say Hoyas are very forgiving plants. They're also pet friendly, which I love. So, I've talked about possibly getting a little doggy later on this year, maybe a miniature Schnauzer. I'm looking for one that has like blue eyes and a chocolate look and like white eyebrows. So hopefully I can find a viable source for a cute doggy. I want to name it Harvey. Anyways, going back to the plants at Pitas Planters, you can see this gorgeous Hoya right here. Now with Hoyas, if you're able to give them more humidity, bright light, they are really going to thrive. There's many different types of Hoyas. Unfortunately, I am not as versed in them, but what I can tell you is in terms of Hoya selection too, you can go to Pitas Planters and find that, but you can see this is her rare cabinet and you can see she's got some more epipremna. Is it epipremna or is that a syndopsis? You can see right over here, she's got more of these. And so if you're looking for plants that are variegated, if you're looking for more rare and uncommon plants, Alocasias, for instance, like look at this variegated Alocasia. Beautiful plant, and look at that variegation as well. Like if only I made a lot of money or I had that plant budget, I would totally do it. But that's the thing about it, right? You can go to Pitas Planters and admire some of these more rare plants, but you don't necessarily have to purchase that because there's still many different options to buy in terms of plants. Now, this is one of my wish list plants. This is a one. This is a Philodendron caramel marble. It's still quite expensive, and this is a juvenile form. I'm hoping someday that I'll be able to acquire that. I do think it's a beautiful plant. It is in that same realm as the Philodendron Pluto, Philodendron Jungle Boogie, Philodendron Narrow Escape, Philodendron Ring of Fire, Philodendron Florida. I think it's all of those. There's just so many of those serrated philodendrons. And then she has some variegated Alocasia silver dragons. And that is another wish list Alocasia for me, just because it's got some beautiful variegation. I do consider these more of investment plants because if you're able to grow an Alocasia to be a little bit more established, it is going to eventually create corms to where you can harvest them and grow them, and then you'll have multiple plants. That's the thing about Alocasias, that they do produce corms, and even the variegated ones, they will always produce variegated Alocasias. So as far as the genetics, I think that's awesome. And the fact that she has these available, I'm hoping that she sells through these over the weekend because these are literally brand new and ready in stock. Now, as far as these plant foldies, unfortunately, she is still not shipping out plants, live plants just yet. I think Pita and the team over at Pitas Planters is just waiting for the weather to be a little bit more stable, and then also just to make sure that they have the operations really figured out. I think some people will jump into that business of shipping plants, but there is a lot more to it than we probably know as consumers. And then you can see right here, look at this gorgeous Syndapsis, this variegated Syndapsis. I haven't gotten into Syndapsis yet. I do have a couple of varieties. I'm really more into the Epipremnum aureum or pothos plants, but you can see, and I know a couple of my friends that live in Dallas, you've got to go to Pitas Planters because I know we can get these variegated Syndapsis, say, from Green Spaces ID. And I talk about Green Spaces ID. I love that Indonesian nursery, but you may not necessarily have to get these from overseas. You could just go to Pitas Planters. It's already got a moss pole ready to go. The plant pricing is fair. And again, these are plants that have already been growing in the United States and are already established. Like this one, I almost thought about getting this one versus the Aglaonemas, but Aglaonemas have my heart. I mean, basically Aglaonemas will always take the first seat when it comes to me shopping for plants. They're always going to be a need today. Repeat after me, Aglaonemas need to be a need today. But look at how gorgeous this variegated Scindapsus is right here. I'm pretty sure at the time of this filming, if I come back like next week, it should be sold. Hopefully, for those that are fans of Scindapsus and just want to support a small business, definitely make your trip out here. And you can get a really good lunch, like literally right next to Rodeo Goat. And if you've ever eaten a Rodeo Goat, the burgers are amazing. And that actually brings me to a point. So we've been talking to Pitas Planters and talking to Pita about potentially doing a plant meetup, either a cultivation corner plant meetup, a plant folding meetup, and just really hanging out. So stay tuned for any details about that. We're really working alongside with Pita to see if we can make that happen once the weather is a little bit better in North Dallas, or just Dallas in general. Then you can see right here, she's got some more Philodendron heteroraceums. That is a 3D printed planter she made herself. Valentine's theme. And then look at that beautiful Aglaonema light of diamond. That is a beautiful one in a yellow planter. And that's the thing, as far as the color scheme that Pita has, she really does source out some gorgeous planters, and that has a modern vibe to it. Now this one she didn't make, so she has more of the cost-effective planters available. Because here's the thing, whenever you buy things that are handmade, that are curated, they're going to cost more because of the effort that's placed into it. And that's the reason why handmade is special. And I've talked about like downsizing plant collections, right? Or curating your plant collection where you have very specific planters. That's where the handmade stuff comes into place, where artists come into place. And you know, Pitas Planters has quite a bit of that. And you can see she's got plant products, she's got fertilizers, she's got soils, she's got clear planters, she's got all things planty. And all of the cards here are also locally sourced and handmade, which makes it special. So if you're looking to give somebody a plant, if you're looking to bring somebody joy through plants, I always say sharing is caring. And you know, sharing is caring. And also just being able to meticulously find something special. When you walk into Pitas Planters, I already know that there are just very specific things that always gravitate, you know, like my eyes gravitate to. Like I've been looking at this, so I know that Epipremnum aureum Shangri-La has made it into a big box store. That is a Casa Farms trending tropicals plant, but I may not necessarily want to buy a 6-inch planter. I may want to buy one that's like a 4-inch that's already trailing, that has that specific plant styling that I'm looking at. And you know, for me, it really depends on your you know, the plants you want. As far as Pitas Planters, they have a lot of plants that are within the 3 to 5 inch planter range. And then you also see plants that are fully established, like that Rapidophora tetrasperma. And then you can see she's even got air plants right here. So lots to look at. So I'm just going to keep walking around and showing you the plants. If you made it this far into the plant, you know, video, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up button, the like button. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. That is your one way to really reward me for making these effort, you know, to make an effort on making daily plant shopping videos. And I also want to make sure that we get more traction in terms of getting Pitas Planters out there. I say that it is a plant shop destination. So if you're going through Dallas, if you're visiting Dallas, if you have a layover in Dallas, if you're staying overnight in Dallas, go to Pitas Planters. I mean, look at that Philodendron Pink Princess Marble Galaxy for $45. That is not a bad price at all. And I've been growing one for a couple of months now, and it is getting larger and it's getting more pink. And wait till you see my houseplant tour. It is coming. I know that I've been talking about it for more than a year. I promise you it's coming. And a lot of my plants are actually sourced out from Pitas Planters. So, you know, that's the obvious thing, because if you see the track record in terms of just all of the plants I've bought, it's because I choose to buy from small businesses as well as big box stores. I don't think that there is anything wrong with buying plants from a big box store, especially if you are only, you know, if the big box stores are only available. But if you have a gem like this where you live in the Dallas area, definitely check that out. And then I also wanted to show you all of these really uncommon, rare hybrids. So this one I think is a Florida Beauty crossed with something else. I don't think she has the plant label, so unfortunately I don't have that. I would refer to her newsletter or her website, Pitas Planters. Pita is also active on Instagram, where she'll give you Pita's picks for the week. Like this one right here is another hybrid philodendron. So for my philodendron lovers, especially ones that just want the green varieties, I would recommend definitely checking out Pitas Planters this week, because this is a fresh new plant shipment. She gets plant shipments maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. It really just depends on what that looks like. But as we bring more business to Pitas Planters, she'll be able to bring more plants to the Dallas market, and I think that's super important. Hoping that I can see her at a plant swap. She does have a mobile truck. That's really how she started her small business, is actually selling plants from a mobile truck, and a lot of them actually ended up being propagations herself. Pitas Planters, Lupita will be the opening episode for season 2 of Cultivation Corner. I really invite everybody to watch it. It is close to about an hour long plant podcast, where she really shares the details about herself as an individual, some of the wins and struggles she had as a Latina-based entrepreneur, business owner, and just her personal life herself. And yeah, this one right here, I was looking for an Aglaonema Sparkling Sarah, $18. Look at the planter. I could buy the planter as well, but I'm intending to put it in semi-hydro. Perfect planter for it. I think that the styling itself, just that white cream matte finish, is gorgeous. Yeah, this Aglaonema Sparkling Sarah is going home with me today, because it is a need. Any Aglaonema is a need, and I do apologize, but not really apologize. If you're going to be watching Growfold plant shopping videos or my plant content, I will talk your ear off on Aglaonema, because there is just a crazy underrated perception when it comes to Aglaonemas. Like, I don't understand how a plant that's so easy to care for, a plant that is readily available at a big box store, not a lot of people really talk about it. And you know, my theories, and even with my friend Janae and Steven of I Live Plants, Cultivation Corner's theory is it's probably because people are not talking about it on social media, but more so the sourcing for the plant is just not there, at least in the United States. A lot of the more uncommon Aglaonemas I am able to source out is because I've been lucky enough to meet people from overseas that can ship those plants. And if you see this black planter here, this is another 3D curated planter that Pita herself made, and I'm hoping that we can get her to talk more in detail about the process. You know, that's the thing about small businesses, is social media presence. And what I've learned even through making plant content is social media presence is really one way to grow your business or to grow a following. For me, doing plant shopping videos or doing plant content, it's really become more of a routine. It's become a lifestyle for me, and a lot of it has to do with trying to bring a community of people here. The Growfolds Plantfoldy community is definitely one that's super positive. I am humbled, I am thankful, I am grateful that all of you will listen to me talk, ramble, whatever you want to call it, and really appreciate who I am as a person. Even if most of y'all have not seen my face, we always talk about, faceless YouTube. I think it's a little bit of a different niche. I'm giving you a little bit of a different vibe, because it's not necessarily about me as the person, but more about the plants and me highlighting the plants. Like this Aglaonema here, it's a different one. This might be an Aglaonema Moonlight Bay. That's another large one that she has. So she doesn't always have the larger plants, because clearly her space is a little bit smaller than the average like plant shop. But square footage, while it's a small space, every square foot actually creates big impact, because sometimes when you have a large space, it could be plants that maybe you've seen at a big box store, but everywhere you turn you see a pothos plant, and then all of a sudden you see a variegated plant, some variegated Alocasia, you see another type of Alocasia, or you see another Philodendron, or more importantly, you see an uncommon Aglaonema that I'm just really thankful for, and I hope that she continues to source it out. But I think Pita will be able to source it out if we continue to bring her business. So again, Plantfoldies, if you are not in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I ask that if you have any social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, post this plant shopping video, even if it's not necessarily to support me, but to actually just create awareness for a small business. And for any other small businesses, I always tell everybody, united we stand, united we support each other. As a plant community, we win together. And I really do stick by that. It doesn't hurt to share content, especially content that has good quality plants into it, and also just to support somebody that has a dream. And I really look up to Pita. I like the fact that she's been able to get these plants like this one right here. This is a Philodendron gloriosum zebra. So this is not just a Philodendron gloriosum, this is a zebra. So you'll see that the smaller streaks are there. Beautiful philodendron. So again, as far as like the diversity of plants, she's definitely got quite a bit of diversity of plants. So you're not necessarily having to buy them online. And even for those that are out of town, especially if you live in Texas, even a road trip from say Houston to Dallas might actually make it worth it. I talk about plant tourism, and that was something that I kind of explored when I was going to Austin, where literally I wanted to spend an entire weekend checking out plant shops. So I did film that. If you haven't seen my playlist of plant tourism, definitely check it out, because I do want to highlight nurseries, plant shops, and even big box stores out of town, outside of Dallas. But if you live in Houston, or you're traveling from out of state, I would do a plant tourism visit to Dallas, and add Pitas Planters as gonna be like one of the top 3 plant shops that you would check out. I mean, you can see right here, she's got syngonium. So she's got even the common ones. Like I think this is a syngonium, gold illusion or berry illusion. Look at that subtle pink veining on it. Love that as well. And again, that is another easy to care for plant. What I would say again with syngoniums is make sure you water them consistently. So if they dry out completely, don't let 2 to 3 days go by without watering them, because that's when you start to run into trouble. And as far as jewel orchids, $18 for this is a super good price. I mean, look at the sizing of the jewel orchids. Mine is doing really well from Pitas Planters. I actually have my jewel orchid blooming. I didn't even realize that the blooms were these beautiful white clusters of flowers, and that's so pretty to me. And I know that there was a plant foldie that asked me to feature more Hoya compactas. Here you go. You've got a Hoya compacta here, and these are a really nice one as well. I want to get a Hoya compacta. They're extremely slow growing. My concern about Hoya compacta is, say if I had a mealybug infestation, those would be really hard to treat. But as far as like plants, again, whenever you're buying plants, whether from a shop like Pitas Planters, and can we highlight this new philodendron hybrid? Goodness. I love it. This is a Philodendron Ability cross with the Philodendron Florida Beauty. Now it doesn't have the Philodendron Florida Beauty variegation, but I'm curious to see what the the mature leaves would look like, and what the growth pattern would be, whether it's a climber. I would say it's a climber, or is it something that clumps? That's one that I want to delve into. And actually, for a green philodendron, this is something that if I wasn't so into Aglaonemas, this plant would be a need. It would be something I would want to buy today. I mean, if I only had ample amount of funding, right? Plant foldies. And this is going to be my shameless plug that I need to insert in the video. If you do want to support me on a monetary basis, in terms of just giving a monetary tip, for anybody that makes plant content or just YouTube content in general, there is an option called a super sticker or super thanks, where you can send support to a content creator like myself. There is like a little $sign that you can send any type of monetary tip. Would really appreciate it, because it will help me fund my plant addiction, and I'll be able to buy more plants from Pitas Planters. Obviously, plant foldies, I have to, give this disclaimer. Please feel free, don't feel like you have to provide a super sticker. It's only if you can and if you want to. I do appreciate those that have sent me super stickers in the past. I do have a super sticker chat goal. So if you make it into a live premiere chat, you can drop a super sticker that way as well. And then you can see right here, this is another variegated peperomia. I love it. I've had one of these as well. Super durable plant. I'm glad that she has this back in stock. And if you see that there is like a little sticker paw print, that means that this particular plant is pet friendly. And that's another thing that a lot of us have talked about, is just pet friendly plants. You can see she's got an Aglaonema red Geely there for $15. Not a bad price at all. And she has more Monstera Thai constellation. So she has the 3-inch ones, and I believe she has the 5-inch ones. And as I pan away right over here, look at the beauty of all the plants. Everywhere you turn, there's something for everyone. Plant foliage, you see she's got quite a bit of Epiprimnum aureum. So she's got lemon meringue, global green, and highly variegated marble queen pothos. I may end up just picking up another marble queen pothos. I mean, as far as that plant, that's another plant that I could have multiples of, and I would recommend it. And this one's even a larger one. Let me know in the comment section, plant foliage, what you think about the variegation of Pitas Planters marble queen pothos. Again, it is a plant that everybody needs to add to their collection because it's an easy to care for plant. And if you like that variegation, you can go ahead and add that as well, because some people, that's all they want is variegated plants. But why not get a variegated plant that's going to save you a little bit more money and actually buy one that is cost effective? But as I pan around here again, plant foldies, look at all of the little planty items as well as the plants. You can see right here, we've got different types of anthuriums. I did want to show you some of these anthurium hybrids. I think these are the clarinerviums, if that's how you pronounce it. And each one is different because obviously they're grown from seed, and you can see the plant pricing here. Now with anthuriums, I'm not an expert, but what I can tell you is if you provide them with quite a bit of bright and direct light, if you put them in chunky aeroid soil mixes, they don't like to be waterlogged, or if you grow them in semi-hydroponics, then they should do well. Humidity is a must for them. They prefer or perform better when there's humidity. And take a look at this Hoya right over here. Now this is super sun stressed. Look at that. That is a result of giving a plant more light than it needs, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's burned the plant. I would say Hoyas tend to have really good coloration when you sun stress them. There's some plants that you don't really want to sun stress them because then they end up like on the verge of actually burning. And then here is another philodendron. Again, these are these philodendron hybrids that she has. It's a philodendron Florida Beauty cross with a Bellitier, and to me that's just super interesting. And these are the new hybrids that are popping out. I am curious to see as 2025 the year unfolds, what new hybrids we're gonna see, what new variegated plants we're gonna see, and in terms of Pitas Planters, what new growth Pitas Planters is gonna have. Like I said again, if you have social media, please make sure you're following Pitas Planters on Instagram. Pitas Planters, the shop, holds a very special place to my heart because I do know what work was put into it to create this brick and mortar shop. And in a world where these days a lot of things are more so online based, I do miss the retail space. You can go to Amazon, you can buy things online and get it shipped to your doorstep, but but there should still be that new, that old school brick and mortar shop where you're going in there, you're looking for plants, you're getting to know the plant owner, you're getting to know the plant owner, you're getting that service that you would get versus just buying things online. I think sometimes convenience is great. Obviously, it's kind of same thing with the debate about like AI, where like, yes, AI could be scary, it's new, it can make things convenient, but whenever you go back to the basics, whenever you go back to human interactions, that's when you really get that open discussion and you really are a little bit more attached. Like I'm attached to this I didn't even realize that they have a variegated Hoya, not Hoya, a variegated anthurium like this beautiful one as well. This is Hookierai, I think that's how you pronounce it. But as far as all the plants here, they're definitely sourced with a lot of love. They're super healthy. They're priced affordably, and they're just unique. And that's the thing about it. There's just a lot of diversity in the plants and the planters. So I'm super excited. So for those that have been asking, in the live chats, does Pitas Planters ship? She does ship things from her website. So definitely go to pitasplanters.com if you're curious about what things you can buy online. Both me, Janae, and Steven of I Live Plants, and actually Janae is here shopping. She's like having a difficult time picking which plants are. So I'm just going to ask her some questions.
Richie, which one?
Both.
Oh, they're so pretty. And look, Richie said this one gets really big.
Yep, that one
like
right there.
Bay.
Right there. Yep.
But then this one.
I say if you want rare Aglaonemas, you need to go to Pitas Planters. Legit. Go. Look at this. She just got what is this? The Mahana corn, and then this one, the 10 carat. 10 carat is really hard to find in the United States fully established. And she has them in 6-inch planters.
It's a need.
It's a need, right?
Like seriously, serotonin is just oozing out of me right now.
There you go. Jenna at Cultivation Corner. Cultivation Corner. So Janae ended up buying an Aglaonema, and I did want to show you my plant haul from what I bought from Pitas Planters in just a second. So the first beautiful plant that I got from Pitas Planters I wanted to highlight is this Philodendron Pink Princess Marble Galaxy. And the Philodendron Pink Princess Marble Galaxy, what makes it special is you can see that it's got a lot of like speckling on the leaves. It almost reminds me of like a Monstera Thai constellation. You can see that there's literally pink variegation speckles of it. You've got sectoral variegation. You've almost got a half moon variegated plant. And as far as this type of Philodendron Pink Princess, high quality if you're looking for that pink coloration. So obviously there are some more Philodendron Pink Princess out there that doesn't have nearly as much like pink speckling, but I am a sucker for pink plants, and the best pink philodendrons that I've gotten are from Pitas Planters. So this is my second one. I already have one that's pretty established, but this one I'm actually going to go ahead and put in leca. So we'll see what that looks like right here. And then I am going to go ahead and zoom in and take a little bit of time to show you this one. So this is the Aglaonema 10 carat. And again, this is another Aglaonema that it's very rare in terms of just finding this. You definitely won't find this at a big box store. You may not even really see a lot of online sellers in the United States selling this. Oftentimes, in order to get the Aglaonema 10 carat, you would have to like import it or get it from overseas somehow, or go to like a plant show like the Texas Aeroid Show or Plant Con, for instance, to find it. So I was super excited that I could go to a small plant shop and Pita has this available. And if you look at the foliage of this particular Aglaonema, it's absolutely stunning because there's so many different types of colors coming around to it. And again, with a plant this variegated, or at least not variegated, but at least has all that coloration, it is again low light tolerant and drought tolerant. And this one is the Aglaonema Sparkling Sarah. And for the fact that I got this plant for only $18 in a 5-inch planter, this one is really pretty. And what I like about the Aglaonema Sparkling Sarah is if you compare it to the Aglaonema 10 carat, you can see that the leaf is different. It's got more narrow, pointy leaves. And that's what makes Aglaonema very special, because there's just many different varieties. And as they hybridize more Aglaonemas, it's I guess just the many of varieties are limitless because there's so many varieties that are popping up. And then this is the Aglaonema green papuma. This is one that I've been looking to get from overseas, but I'm glad that I was able to find this from Pitas Planters, because again, if you're looking for an uncommon Aglaonema, oftentimes you would need to go ahead and get this ordered online, and then you have to deal with either having an import license or going through a broker or even spending money on some shipping. Shipping is not cheap, and that's the thing about Pitas Planters. You don't have to pay for the shipping. She's the one sourcing out the plants. She's the one that's getting us all of these awesome plants. And hopefully plant foldies, or for anybody that's taken time to watch these videos, hopefully I've been able to give you some glimpse of some of the plants that you're able to get from Pitas Planters. You know, this is just a small snippet of it. You really have to go in person to see what plants she has available. And what's exciting is she's constantly getting different types of plants. But for me, I mean, on a selfish note, I'm just glad that she's actually getting Aglaonema, and I'm thankful that she asked my opinion on what Aglaonemas she should bring out, and the fact that she was able to give me a list and to look at that. So I'm thankful that she values some of my opinion about it. I'm hoping that the local Dallas-Fort Worth community will go here and buy up these Aglaonema, because again, it is another plant that let's just put it out there, unless I am not seeing the same YouTube, there's not a lot of plant content creators that really focus on Aglaonemas, unless it's somebody that's maybe from overseas. You know, I'm saying that in terms of folks in the United States that really talk about Aglaonema in detail and the same passion as me, Janae, and Steven of Cultivation Corner. I mean, you can see right here, I'm confused, I'm baffled. I don't know why people are just not running and fighting over Aglaonemas. I definitely would, because if you and I were at the same time at Pitas Planters and you were trying to buy that green papuma, she only had like, I think 3, you and I would have to like kind of debate about who was going to get the plant. That's how crazy I am about Aglaonema, and that's just me being quirky. So plant foldies, again, hopefully we all make a trip to Pitas Planters. Look for the spring, because Cultivation Corner will be working closely with Pita. We're hoping that we can get some social gatherings where we can get the local plant community, either the plant foldies or the cultivators of Cultivation Corner, or Janae's subscribers. She calls them the Simonians, or Steven's subscribers, he calls them the uplifters. So either way, when you get 3 plant lovers like Cultivation Corner supporting a plant shop like this, hopefully our efforts to really bring this to social media, to really get you guys here. All I ask is, if you do have social media platforms, at least for this video, please share that in your Facebook, again, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, whatever social media platform you have, this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you press the thumbs up or like button. I would really appreciate it. It definitely will push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at GrowFolds with all the notification bell on. That way you're always in tune with my new content. This is Richie. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.